Labor thinks scrapping 50% capital gains tax discount would suddenly make homes affordable. Could this move burst the Australian property bubble that everyone has talked about? So if you're looking to purchase your first investment property, or are you planning to purchase one in the next 6 to 12 months, then this video is for you. I'm going to tell you how Australian government may just about to make the lives of existing property investors a whole lot easier. And we're going to break the hard truth in this video. Many of us are not going to like, but the sooner we accept, the better it is for all of us. Hi, I'm Reza, and this is my channel, Australian Property Academy. I help create scalable and sustainable property portfolios. We talk about real numbers, real strategies, and real outcomes for everyday Australians who are serious about building wealth. Let's look at the bigger picture. Right, so let's talk about the elephant in the room, the housing affordability. The housing affordability is not broken because investors are too greedy. It's broken because we are not building enough homes in the right places. The 50% CGT discount or capital gains discount, which reduces taxable income after 12 months, is one of the few major incentives that keeps long-term investors in the market, in the game. You remove it and the pipeline of the new homes start to die, and it dries up pretty quickly. It's that simple. Now, currently, Treasurer Jim Chalmers is being urged by Labor members to scrap or reduce this discount. In their pitch, it'll push money into more productive parts of the economy and making housing more accessible, more affordable for first-home buyers. But here's the kicker. When the investors pull out, the fewer developers gets funded. And when fewer homes are built, the competition for existing homes even gets tougher. So it's the other way around. The argument that it would free up the capital for more productive areas of economy and somehow help first-home buyers is ridiculous. It's going to actually trap them into the market. Let's pause for a second and think about this. Will removing this discount actually make homes cheaper or affordable? Let's cut to the chase. The numbers don't really lie. And we're going to look this through an example so that people can understand this a bit better. Let's suppose Jane buys her first investment property with dreams and hopes to retire by the age of, say, 55 or 60. She holds an investment property for over 12 months and pays only tax on the half of the capital gains. That is the 50% capital gains discount. She buys a property for $600,000, and let's assume that this property is now worth $800,000. Her profit, $200,000, with current 50% CGT in place, she's going to pay tax on $100,000. At a 37% tax bracket, that's $37,000 in taxes. Without the discount, she'll be taxed fully on $200,000, paying $74,000. That's nearly double, and that's enough to scare her away or investors away from either not buying the property at all, or never selling the asset, or buying it into super, where it's a more tax affordable, tax-free strategy when they're hitting the preservation age. But that's a discussion for another day. Now, it's one of the major reasons people put money into long-term property investment. Labor's insiders want to scrap or reduce this discount, hoping in some way, shape, or form that it would push capital into more productive parts of economy. How productive? How is that going to be productive? Here is the issue. If you kill the incentive, some investors may take a step back. And when investors pull back, less housing gets built. And when less housing gets built, the rents skyrocket. Guess what? It's not a no-brainer. Take a city with a vacancy rate of 1.2%. If investors' lending drop by 15%, vacancies can fall below 0.5%, causing rates to spike and rise like crazy. A weekly rent of $550 could jump to $650 within a year if there is less stock to rent on market. So you can imagine what high-end suburb rentals would look like if the pressure really starts building up. And suddenly, first-home buyers aren't just competing with few investors, they're also competing with fewer homes available for them to buy in the first place. So it's not really fixing the affordability problem, it actually strangles the supply. So who do you think is building the homes in the first place that the first home buyer is buying, the established property? It's mostly investors. Take them out of the equation and the pipeline is slow burn. It almost crawls to a finish line. Let's talk about the investor confidence and why it's crumbling in current market conditions. Sure, they've been talking about this. Don't worry about it. We'll grandfather it. But if you are really looking to invest next year, are you really going to jump in as an investor when rules can change in a whiff? If you're about to put $150,000 deposit into a project where you're going to get a house at the very end, and you hear about CGT rules that could shift or change, you might hold your money back or move it into super, where rules are a lot more stable, a lot more relaxed, where the capital gains are taxed at only 15% and you have 33% discount rule available, which brings your effective tax rate down to 10%. So yeah, cutting the CGT discount sounds like a bold move, but it would actually make things worse rather than putting the money in more effective, efficient places. A couple saving for their first home in 2027-28 might face 20 to 30% less stock of developments because buildings in 2025-26 didn't go ahead when investors pulled back, which in turn will increase the house price, making it an investor's delight. If you're serious about affordability, the answer isn't less investments. It's about more housing, more supply, smarter incentives. We are thinking about shifting the deck chairs while the ship keeps sinking. In order to save the ship from sinking, more build needs to happen. The developers needs to be incentivized. Now, if you're a first home buyer hoping that this policy will help you, you need to think again. The homes you're looking at today may originally be built or funded by investors. And if you remove these incentives from investors, they would actually never sell these properties. And the supply of existing houses typically extinguishes. With the pressures on the new build, this creates a once in a lifetime opportunity for investors, because there would be some aggressive price growth or significant price growth that would happen because of removing these incentives. So you need to ensure when you're buying these properties, buy them in proper trust with proper bucket companies or in super, so that you can manage capital gains implications quite effectively in case you decide to sell. Thank you for listening to me today. If you have any comments, feedback in relation to these policies, please jump in and leave your comments in. Hit the like and subscribe button if you really like our content. Take care, stay safe, keep smiling, keep investing. This is Moss checking out. Adios.